Hi all, Salim, всем привет. Это видео на английском, this video in English, and we have today Dara Tumenbaeva, CEO of Specials App, CEO of OK Dara School, and CEO of Blackswan Studios, ex-Amazon engineer. Thank you, Dara. Happy to have you with us, and we want to ask you to show some demo of computer vision stuff and tell about yourself a little bit. Welcome.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me. Hi, everyone. My name is Dara. As being already mentioned, I have a couple of achievements so far. And we are also launched the Specials dating app. So there is some sort of machine learning going on there when you match with people. So hence, I didn't quit in terms of, development and coding, even though I'm more of an executive right now. And I've also previously been working as a data scientist at SEP as well. So I have some sort of background in terms of machine learning and building models, running through some feature important and stuff. So in here, I could also, talk about the models and how they are usually built and how you usually, collect data and everything. So without further ado, I will show you guys today the demo that I have showcased during the GDG Google I/O Extended in Almaty, which was about facial expression. I will show you guys first how did I come up with it in terms of working demo and stuff. So as many of you probably know, Kaggle is sort of a place for every kind of data related person. And in here, they have lots of data sets that are pretty useful. And in our case, it has lots of emotions stored. And for us to come up with the model that will generate these types of results, for example, like if I'm sad, it will just show me that I'm sad. We need data to train. So instead of, me sitting back there and labeling it manually and stuff for every data point, I'd rather go to Kaggle and download some data sets. You can download it here. There they are. You just need to sign in first. And once you do so, you can already plot your model. So basically in here, once I have downloaded the data, I can just get the read CSV. I'm not going to run it here. It's going to take forever. But overall, it's just for you to understand how it works. And then in the emotion side, you are just, getting some of the emotions. And in here, we have a few of them, which is angry, disgusted, fearful, happy, sad, surprised, and neutral. There can be more. It's just for this model, we are choosing this. Then we are just plotting some data, we're putting some values in it, and then what we're doing here is that we are checking if there are any missing values. Is basically checking if there are null. And if we don't have any missing data, it's good. So we can just get the information of our data set. Then what we're doing here is we are pre-processing our data first. We can just check the first 10 of our data set, and then we can just check the value counts of our emotions from our data set that we had. And one important thing to note here is that you need to have data set that is test and train. You should never use the same data set for the training and testing, because it is basically going to give you a mixed result and it's not correct. So we always divide testing and training data based on the data set we need. For example, we have like a huge chunk of data, then we divide it for example 50 to 50 or 60 to 40, and then we have our testing data to test that our model is working correctly. Then we're just training our data set, which is here displayed. Once we are done, then we are just taking the indexes of it, and we are just training our data set here as well in terms of for loops and testing it out. Then we are putting our images into perspective, making sure that it's all working. We have some class names here. And once we're done, we are building our CNN model. It's convolutional neural networks. For those of you who don't know, it's just a way for us to basically get the image recognition stuff. So it's just going by neurons and identify whatever plot we want to use. Then we are using Keras TensorFlow. It's pretty useful stuff. And in here, I didn't run it here. I run it here in the code labs. call up here, but basically this is here to showcase how it works in terms of code. And this is our model that has been generated. So once we are done, we can go into our main.py, which then generates whatever we want to do. So we already have our model set, which is this one. And then what we're doing here is we're detecting face first, and then we are getting the coordinates of it and detecting the emotion. This is the model. This is the function to detect emotions. And once it's done, it will show the results that I showed you just now. Let's see if it works. I don't know. Like usually, live demo goes wrong somehow, but let's hope for the best. Otherwise, I can show you the results of it prior. Okay, it's gonna take forever. It might be that I'm using the camera here. Oh, here. I'm happy. Yay! It worked. Oh my goodness. I was thinking that it's not going to work. I don't know, for some reason it works for the demos recently. Great. So this is pretty much the demo itself. So you can test it out and see if you're happy or angry. I can attach the links with, yeah, finger crossed someone is messaging here. So I can attach the links to GitHub and you can try it yourself. It's pretty easy in terms of trial and stuff. It's just emotions, and which is pretty, recognized everywhere. So yeah, hopefully you like it.
It's amazing. This you showed code from CodeLab. It's just browser and it's just connects to your machine. Yeah, no magic. Just amazing to note how easy you can connect to your local machine from web code. Thank you. I think people will. Thank you so much. People who will watch many. For many, it's like they never seen actually. I met few students last week. For them, this is kind of how this happens, and even for professionals as well. This is quite niche, and your experience is very valuable for us. Thank you for joining this stream. And just before we said we will talk a little bit about the Central Asia branding in technology industry. In September, we had kind of notorious events. Message of the president of Kazakhstan. He said Kazakhstan will be IT export giant soon. DevOpsDay, Central Asian event. I think a lot of also Russian companies joined, and from many other cities around Almaty, they went to this big specific data engineering and DevOps event. We had Kazakhstan, it's a security event, and we have significantly growing machine learning community in Tashkent. This goes for Tashkent, and we had also growing DevRel community between Almaty and Tashkent. People are relocating and some local DevRel, so it's pretty amazing to see this. And we also have this phenomena of these YouTube bloggers from Bishkek, which they visited Astana. And well, this little bit off topic, but it's amazing how creative people from Bishkek, they already have millions, tens of millions subscribers on YouTube. Purely.
That's cool.
And even, yeah, it's awesome. And they even was featured at Bloomberg Technology Show, which will be published soon. It was announced just yesterday via Twitter. So it's awesome branding for Central Asia. But we have, actually, guys, if you have questions, you can type like, "Hi, Elias, happy to see you, have you with us." You can type questions, we will put them here. And centralasia.tech, this website, centralasia.tech. And if you go there, you will see it actually belongs to IT Park of Uzbekistan, technology hub of Uzbekistan. And they did last weeks, they bought ads on Madison Square Garden in New York, huge billboards promoting this IT Park and this website. It was pretty cool. At the same time, Kazakhstan also doing promotion. They only also promote the Kazakhstan via Silicon Valley. There is some club for digital nomads. It's really cool stuff, and Silk Road. And also we have recurring events, Central Asia Game Show, and it's happening in Bishkek. So what I kind of see, these three countries, they put this Central Asia brand, make some websites or events, but behind they promote their own cities. So just wanted to maybe discuss, because you had also experience in ASEAN, in Malaysia, there are also a group of countries. Is it the same there? What do you think? And how we will go, what we have today? In future, it will be still same. That
Yeah,
discussion.
it's actually an interesting topic because in at least in Southeast Asia, it's pretty, I guess, in comparison, advanced because they kind of started earlier. They are in population, they are bigger as well. So the kind of development community there is pretty big, I would say, in comparison with Kazakhstan, generally Central Asia. And in there are like more than thousands or hundreds of people joining those events, and they have been featured in many ways in terms of their contribution and stuff. So I guess comparatively with us, they are just a little bit front, and we're a little bit behind. So in that sense, I think we have a lot of things to catch up with. But at the same time, it's also great because in comparison with us, it's really hard to stand out there and get the opportunity to just be there, out there, talk about things. But in Central Asia, you have way more opportunities. So for us, it's just an amazing kind of benchmark. And there are like fights between countries. Of course, it's always there. We can't really deny that, and I think it's kind of healthy if it's competition is in a healthy manner and no one got hurt or anything. So if it's all about improving, if it's all about innovating, if it's all about showcasing your work and maybe showing like what you can do, that's amazing. That's something that Malaysia and Singapore, they always fighting against one another, showcasing what they got. So that's a fun thing to watch.
Oh, well, and do they benefit both from it?
So, sorry, good.
Uh, do they both benefit from this competition, Malaysia and Singapore?
I believe mostly yes, because there are like, for example, in Singapore, there are quite a number of Malaysian developers working there after they worked in Malaysia for a bit. And there are lots of as well people from Singapore who are joining Malaysian workforces just to broaden their perspectives. And since the kind of culture is very similar, so in that sense, it's kind of beneficial for both. But again, it's there is lots of debates, and there are sometimes unhealthy things happening as well, of course. But the communities themselves try to manage it, try to not to get it heated and stuff. So in that sense, I didn't see anything happening negatively.
Yeah. Well, awesome. But so far, people, I see, just buying domains Central Asia. I also bought products Central Asia, and we do some product conference and pulling. Each city is pulling this. Amazing. Guys, so if you have questions, you type, but we see you don't type, then we can release Dara. We only booked her for half an hour, but we still have some minutes if you want. I know there is delay in this network connection. Otherwise, we just finish. And maybe Dara, if you want to also send some messages. How is the specials app going? I know you are doing the acceleration program.
Yeah, it's a pretty great adventure because it's the kind of first time that I'm doing my own product, my own baby, kind of coming live, kind of coming to see it happening and everything. We have like more than 600 users already registered from all over the world. There are people from Malaysia, Singapore, some places in Canada, USA as well, and primarily in Kazakhstan. So in general, what I've seen so far is that it's pretty challenging to build your own product from the ground rounds, and it's not like everyone's just gonna download it and that's it. No, you actually have to put the work. You actually have to put some, marketing and everything, sales stuff. I had zero idea about it prior. I'm a software engineer. What do you expect? And I had to learn a lot about sales. So we have now managed to pass into incubation with Just Ventures. If any one of you interested, that's like a incubation program for startups to develop their ideas. There are pretty skillful number of people who can help out. There is like CEO from Choco family as well, who managed to give us a lecture. There are people coming from OneFit to teach us more about marketing strategies. And in that sense, I think it's a great opportunity for startups to grow faster in the directions they don't know. Because prior to that, I actually needed help in terms of, business wise, cast devs that I'm conducting right now, questions to those people. That was an amazing help so far. And also for, just development and connections as well. It's a great opportunity. And we also passed to most incubation, which is happening next week. So
Congrats.
thank
Double.
you. Yeah, so we are just gonna try to progress and make sure that our product evolves with the needs of our users, because at the beginning I just didn't really know how to actually listen to users carefully. I was like, okay, they're just saying this and that they want it and everything, so we build it, and there are a few people downloading it. I'm like, okay, what's the problem? Why there are not so many people? Is it that the product or marketing? What's wrong with that? So in many cases, it's more about the people and what they want, and that's something that I've learned through past devs that I'm conducting right now, is that they are more lean into listening to their pain rather than just providing a cool app. They just want to get their problem solved, and that's something that I learned as a great insight about business, about proposing your product. And I've learned how should I propose my product as well. Like at the beginning, when I was just messaging people about my app, nobody would. I mean, there are a few people responding, but not as much. Just recently, I posted a message, and then there are quite a number of unknown people responding already, which is great, because that means that it touched the hearts of their pain and everything. So that's something that I've learned throughout the way, and I guess it's a great opportunity given that we are in Kazakhstan. It's all for free, the incubations and everything. You just need to apply, and they select you based on that. So if people here have any products of their own that they want to build it or anything, go ahead and apply. You can even submit it with just an idea. It doesn't necessarily have to be a ready to use product like ours that is already on App Store or Play Store. So in that case, I would strongly suggest to pass through these kind of incubations. You will get a lot of insights. You will avoid many mistakes that I did at the beginning. So that's a great opportunity, I think.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If I could ask to share a small tip, how to start the CastDev interview. I mean, just skipping how we get these people, but the first call or talk. So do you just? I don't know just how to do it. You just tell, hi, what pains you have, or what is the first question?
Okay, that's a great question, actually. So in CastDev interviews, there are two things that you can do. One is to validate the product as you already built, and to check that like they like it or not, if it's useful, if it's handy. And the other one is more about hypothesis without having the product yet. So these are the two types of interviews that you can conduct. And the first one is usually, for example, in our case, we are starting from the kind of 10% of people worldwide having healthy relationship. Is it true? So that's our kind of assumption based on what we researched so far. And what we're doing is that we want to confirm that this is the case through CastDev interviews. And that's the reason why people are not in relationship right now. Maybe it's just too painful for them, or maybe it's just too much work. Who knows, right? So through that CastDev interviews, when we first invite the person, we usually ask questions regarding that hypothesis we put at the beginning. So that usually dictates the type of questions that are there. And usually it evolves around the pain, around the kind of daily life they're having right now. So what they're doing to address it already, meaning that they might be using Tinder, for example, in our case. They might be using Bumble. Is it solving their problem? Is it not solving their problem? Why? What is useful there? What they find useful, what they don't, do they actually already pay. So one of the things in Kazakh that you have to point out is that you shouldn't be asking about the future, about some sort of unknown feature, or would you like it, would we like my product, would you buy my product. That's not the best questions to ask during Kazakh interviews, because you want to know about the current situation, maybe the past situation of the user, and you shouldn't be selling yet. You should just listen to their pay. So that's kind of the beginning of it. You just ask their hobbies, their interests, maybe what kind of person they're looking for in a relationship, and then going deeper and deeper into the problem, you ask about the current situation. Why did they break up last time? That would be a little bit deeper, and you wouldn't start straight away about asking about it, because usually you kind of establish the trust ground with the person, and that's usually one thing to note, is that it's all private. You shouldn't be sharing it anywhere. That's something that is personal for everyone, so hence it's best to just conduct it privately. And then from there you listen to their pain. Maybe they will open up and tell you about the previous kind of experience. And one of the good things about CastDev is that you probably need to listen about their pain more, so you don't necessarily have to follow the requirement you set for yourself in terms of questions. If the person is opening up and kind of telling you more about things, you kind of need to dig in and maybe get more information from it, and then from there you might have an idea how you can solve it with your product. So these are the things that will be very useful, very helpful. And one of the major things that I think I got from Tilek Mamutov from our talent, he basically mentioned it during one of our Clubhouse interviews, is that what helped him to pass YCombinator, which is one of the biggest accelerators worldwide, is he conducted 400 interviews with engineers. So that's something that impressed people from YC, and that's something that you guys should do as well if you were to start your own company, is to ask as many people, know their pain, know what they're struggling with, know what they're doing right now in terms of solving that problem. Maybe you will build something that nobody actually will even download. That's kind of a sad story of developers most of the time, is that we will think about it like it's cool, it's amazing, but then nobody will download it. So that's the best kind of insight.
Oh, it's super cool. Now I know how to do it. I think many people will also know. And by the way, Tilek, he lives in Bishkek now. In Sikul, he bought house just last week. I
That's
like to
nice.
him on Instagram. I'll tag you that. I think he'll be happy that someone listens to his clubhouse. Yeah, he's a celebrity in the whole region. And thank you so much for your this investment of your time. Dara, we will stop the stream, but if you could send me links, and I will put it immediately to descriptions on your stuff you showed. Thank you very much, guys. If you don't have questions, if you have, type them in comments, because we will receive notifications even in the recording, and I will send it to Dara, and maybe you will get answer. Even you watch it after 1 year or 20 years, maybe you will get answer in the comments. Thank you.
Sure, I can leave my contact as well. You can guys contact me if anything. I'm open.
Oh, super. Have a nice evening. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.